Perfect. Good evening once again to everyone. Give good evening, leaders.
Good evening. Good evening, Doug.
Awesome. It's good to have you back, leaders and trailblazers. Welcome to tonight's edition of the Unfolding Capacity Virtual Leadership Masterclass, a space where leadership is not only discussed, but shaped, sharpened, and empowered. We are living in a time where the world is not just looking for leaders, it is crying out for them. Not leaders who chase titles, but those who carry the vision, who walk with purpose, and who dare to grow through every season. In tonight's theme, leadership development is at the very heart of the journey. It is an absolute honor to introduce our guest speaker for the evening, Ms. Esteemed Faith Mneno, an exceptional leader, communicator, and builder of people. Faith is a voice of wisdom and strength in a generation. Her influence stretches across platforms, professions, and communities, and she has consistently inspired others to rise, not just to lead, but to lead well. Tonight, Faith will be guiding us through the layers of what it takes to develop as a leader, not just professionally, but personally and purposefully. Whether you're just starting out or already leading teams and movements, this session will stir your thinking and challenge your growth. So grab your notebook, clear your distractions, and prepare to be poured into. As we give a great welcome to our guest, Faith Mneno, I want to say to everyone that's here that we must appreciate the time that she has set aside for us tonight, because she's currently in Singapore and she'll be presenting live from that side. It's 19:07 in our time in South Africa, and it's actually 1:07 a.m. In Singapore. So Faith has actually really sacrificed her sleep to provide this session to us. I hope we make it worthwhile. We take as much notes as possible. We learn as much and take this opportunity to grow and become better. Faith, I'm going to take it all over to you, my leadership, and say, please shoot and give your heart.
Thank you so much. Good evening, leaders. I thought let me just come on my voice on my video just so I can feel like we're in one room. I can see my mother is also on video there. Yay. Greetings. Greetings. And I mean, if you want to join me on video, I'd appreciate that. I think the people at BBC Midrand always know that I enjoy feeling like we're having a conversation yes, I see you, leader, as opposed to me presenting to icons on the Zoom meeting. First, please allow me to really honor you, Amazement. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me today. I truly am grateful to be in this platform. I mean, the work that you are doing with Unfolding Capacity is a phenomenal work, just of developing one another and sharpening one another's edges. So I'm truly humbled to be here today. Greetings to the different leaders that I can see are on the line. I can see families here. I can see my people from Reach About Church Midrand. I hear truly I'm so humbled, and I look forward to our conversation tonight. Well, it's in the morning for me. Time on my side is 9 minutes past 1. So yeah, but I look forward to the discussion. Maybe I won't go much into an introduction of who I am, but I'm Faith Mneno from the Eastern Cape in South Africa. I'm currently based in Dubai, but as we speak, I am in Singapore. I'm very passionate about personal development. Very passionate about personal development, and I do think that it is such discussions are due to it. It is necessary for us to sit and deliberately discuss, not only discuss, but action the insights after that. So, I mean, what is this discussion unless it becomes, or rather the insights become actioned? So I'm very excited to be here today. So this is what I'm going to do. Maybe let me just share my screen quickly. I do generally enjoy interactions. So please do feel free to note your questions. I think for the sake of making sure that we finish on time, please note your questions. I'll do due diligence at the end of the session and attend to every single question that we have. So please have your pen and paper. You can write down your questions or comments or your contributions or your personal reflections on whatever I'll be talking about. And that would be great. So today I want to talk about the architecture of personal development. What are the key fundamental pillars that we need in order for us to maximize our personal growth or journey? What is it that we need to have in place for us to make sure that not only are we growing, but we are growing at a pace that is fitting for our purpose? You don't want to reach to a time where your purpose is due, or other components of your purpose are due, but you are not fit and ready to deliver it. So you want to develop yourself and build yourself up such that when opportunity arrives for you to step up, it finds you ready. So I think today I want us to talk about just the architecture of personal growth. And maybe before I go through what I want to say, if you can just go to the chat. If I was at church again, I was going to say, please talk to your neighbor, but now we are on Zoom. Now we are on Zoom. So if you don't mind, go to the chat for me and just let me know, what is the one thing that comes to mind that you think is an important pillar to personal growth? I mean, I'm talking to leaders on this call and this line, and I do know that this is a topic that is largely discussed. So what do you find is a fundamental pillar to personal growth? If I could just get views on that, I'd appreciate that. Character, that's an interesting one. Let's see, what else do we have? What is an important part for personal authenticity? Commitment, vision, studying, reading. Absolutely. Thank you so much, leaders, for that contribution. Accountability, that's amazing. So we can see that this is a topic that we can easily speak to. It's a topic that we all know about. But like I was saying earlier, that many things are known, but they mean nothing unless they are done. The gap between you and what you know is how much you do it. So I think today, even as I'm talking through these different fundamental pillars, or rather the architectural frames of personal growth, I want to encourage you to note, what are you going to do in the short term, in the medium term, in the long term? Otherwise, we've just wasted an hour talking about something that you already know. Are we there? If I was at church, I was going to say amen if you hear me. Awesome. All right, let me start here. Maybe let me set as my fundamental statement, rather my founding statement, is that we grow by design and systems that are set in place. We grow by design and systems that are set in place. Personal development is not something that happens by chance. Personal development is not something that happens because someone was doing a seminar like Amazement and then they invited us and then, wow, we were developed. It's not something that can be taken that loosely. We grow by design, not by default. We grow by systems, not by coincidence. And we are going to constantly fall behind the radar if we're going to depend on coincidence for our personal development, or we're going to depend on other people, external voices, to impose personal development on us. So I think my first founding statement is that we grow by design and by systems, not by coincidence or by default. Let me read a certain statement I saw, and I think it really touched me. It reads as follows. It says, personal growth must be engineered against purpose and reinforced by intentional routines. I'm going to unpack a couple of pillars on that statement. Personal growth must be engineered against purpose, engineer it against purpose, reinforce it by intentional routines. It must be engineered against purpose, reinforce it by intentional routines. And I think through the session of today, I'm going to try and unpack the different components of that statement so that we do not leave personal development to become an outcome of chance. We have to engineer it, and it has to be against purpose. That's a very important part. my path of personal development can never be the same to Yonella's path of development because we're not going to the same place. Our purpose differs. Therefore, even my path can't be a copy paste. It has to be engineered against purpose. So let me take, for example, cooking. So people who leverage off those random scattered events of personal development and think that at the end of the day, you're going to have a well-developed person are like people who go to the mall. Number one, they don't know what they're going to cook. They don't know what they need to buy. They just walk into the shop and they just buy different things that look interesting. And when they get home, they hope to make a good meal. That's that's what we look like when we are casual about personal development. Casual simply means that you attend sessions when we're invited, you know, you read books when people recommend them, but you're not intentional. You're not engineering your path. You are just picking on the aisle whatever is decorated properly. So I want us to step back and say we can't our personal development path can't be at the mercy of whoever is organizing whatever event in that space. Are we there? Our personal development can't be at the mercy at people organizing events. Our personal development can't be at the mercy of people organizing events. It has to be a decision. It has to be a path that you can see. In fact, it has to be a path that you engineer because you understand your purpose. We can't relegate that responsibility to someone. It's like you're going to the mall and you find whatever they are selling you. You take whatever they are selling, and then you go home and you hope to make a good meal. Today, if there's anything that I want us to take out, is that it has to come with deliberate, engineered effort. And I'm going to break down that quickly. So there's three pillars I'm going to speak to. Let me look at my time. All right. There's three pillars I'm going to speak to today that I think are architectural frames for personal development. And then obviously we can have our discussions and conversations at the end. Before I go to that, to those three pillars, let me give you this quote. Are you still there? Are you guys still there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I see. I like those.
Yep.
Yes, we are.
Thank you. All right, so let me place this before I go to my three key architectural frames that I want to present today. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Many people think that the goal is what pulls them up. No. The methodology, the routine, the system, the operating model is what either pulls you up or pulls you down. And that's why I'm glad that you have goals, but today I don't want to anchor on your goals. I want to anchor on your operating model. Because reaching your goal is an outcome of your operating model. So we can all speak and be excited about our different goals and, oh, I want to be this, oh, I want to be that. Praise the Lord. And then I say, Kaya, I love that for you. But today it is not how clear your vision is to you that takes you there. It is about the systems and methodologies and habits that you have set in place to get to a place where you are personally, your development has been sharpened. So let me leave that to you a bit. All right. So I want us to go to our three key pivots. Number one, you must have routines. No, you're going to hear this word a lot, routine. You're going to hear that word a lot, and systems. Because remember, now we're not dealing with scattered random events. We are dealing with the engine, which is the operating model. And of course, complement the events and daily things are complements to an engine that has been structured and built to take you to where you need to get to. Okay, so I think number one, I'm going to talk about routines that protect your energy. That is very important for your personal development. And maybe you could ask me why. Do you know that there's many urgent things that are calling for your attention? We are so busy. We are so busy with many things. And unfortunately, when we are busy with many things, we end up paying attention to those many things and we forget our own selves. And that's why I want to start with the first pillar that says protect. I've got 3 pillars. The first one is protect. You're going to have to protect your energy. And the reason I'm choosing energy to protect it, because it's an internal fuel that determines how far you can go. Maybe let me move fast through this so that I am able to cover all my 3 points. So number 1, you must protect your energies, and there's 3 things that I want to note on this. And the reason you're protecting your energy is because there's many things that are calling for your attention, and you have to be very deliberate to protect time for yourself. So number 1, you're gonna have to guard your prime time. You're gonna have to guard your prime time. So can I mention and can I say that you deserve, of the many things that are calling for your attention, you deserve your best time. You deserve your best time. There's something in each person that's called the prime time, or rather the peak energy window. That's the time in the day where you are sharp to thinking. That's the time you are productive. That's the time where you can think and do things quickly. For some people, it's early in the morning. For other people, it's late at night. For other people, it's after lunch. I'm just trying to say there's a time in the day that every person is most optimal, or rather most productive. Can I please ask that you ring fence that time for yourself? Because many times we spend that prime time, or rather we spend that peak energy window doing low leverage tasks. Now, a low leverage task is like things that can be done, man, on a normal, like they're not adding, it's like administrative things. It's more mundane tasks that we use in our prime time. And I always feel so jealous because that's the most optimal time in your day and you are using it to do admin. I'm not saying this to undermine admin. I'm speaking to leaders here. I'm saying this to say that there's better use for your prime time. Relegate other tasks to other times in the day. But for that prime time, 1, you have to recognize it. So for example, my prime time is early hours of the morning. So I have to recognize that prime time and I have to protect it. I need to protect it from the mundane tasks. And unfortunately, the mundane tasks can also be very urgent. And this is where the protect part comes. The mundane tasks can be very urgent, and people need things. But can I please ask the best? You deserve your best time. You deserve your best time. And I need you, maybe number 1, recognize what your prime time is. And in that prime time, I need you to focus just on 2 things, not on your low leverage tasks, just on 2 things. Number 1, value creation. Number 2, personal development. Those are the only 2 things that must sit on your prime time. Are we there? Are we still there?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome.
We hear, ma'am.
Thank you. So number 1, you have to protect your prime time. So can I ask that? So remember I said information is nothing until it's done. Can I ask that, number 1, if you do know your prime time, please write it down. And can you make a decision that from today going forward, you don't want to use low leverage tasks. You don't want to use that for low leverage tasks. You don't want to use that for low value tasks. You want to use that for value creation, and you want to use that for personal development. Number 2, you're going to have to automate the trivial tasks in order to free up your cognitive space. Now, one of the saddest realities is that leaders are not exhausted by what they do. They're exhausted by the many small tasks that they need to do, or the many small decisions that they need to make. It's almost like leaders are wasting themselves away with small menial. I'm going to call it small in your context. Ne? What might be small to you is not small to me. I'm using the word small in context to your purpose. Are we there? Are we there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to ask, so number 1, you have to recognize your prime time and guard it. Number 2, please remove yourself from overpopulating your time with things that you can automate or delegate. value creation, and focus on your personal development. And unfortunately, once again, the trivial tasks can be very urgent, but if you're not deliberate about automating those or delegating those, you're going to end up spending your life doing low value tasks. You're gonna spend your life doing smaller nyana decisions here and there, but you are very busy, but it's not adding to who you are becoming. It's not adding to your value as a person. It's just stuff that you are busy with. So I want us to sit and also be very cognizant. Sit and say, today, how did I spend my day? How much of the things I did today were value creation, and how much of the things I did today were just trivial tasks? And I want to encourage you that relegate and automate things so that you can free up your cognitive space. Are we there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Are you sure you are there?
We are here.
Yes,
Sister.
we are.
Yes.
Okay, you're not convincing. You must convince me.
No, we're here.
Awesome.
Very sure.
Perfect. One, guard your time. Identify what your prime time is, and please don't do trivial tasks in your prime time. Two, automate the trivial stuff so that you can focus on your cognitive space. Three, yes, you have to build habits. Now, I'm choosing the word habit for a reason. Ne? It takes so much mental space to decide every day. It's better to decide on an engine and anchor it, and all you are doing every day is to reinforce it. Let me take a typical example. It takes a lot of mental space to not know when you are going to read the book, but to figure out as the day goes. It's easier for you to determine that I will wake up at 5 o'clock, and at 6, or whatever the time is, at 5, I will read a book. So you can automatically maintain that standing decision, as opposed to making the decision every day, because there's many things that are pulling for your attention, and what's going to happen is that what's urgent is what's going to take the best of you. So I'm asking you that when it comes to personal development, don't trust your everyday decision making. Anchor it on patterns, or can you anchor it on habits, and all you are doing every day is just to reinforce an existing habit. So decide when you are going to read a book, decide in advance, and don't leave that decision to a daily. You must decide every day what time you are reading. Are you with me? You are deciding every day what time you are reading, or you are deciding every day which event, or rather, in fact, it's worse again, because sometimes we relegate personal developments to what other people are inviting us to. And if no one invites us to anything, then we are not going anywhere. You have to create habits. So you have to say, every day I must have 30 minutes. Pre-decide this. Think about it in advance. Every day I must have my 30 minutes to read my book. Every month I must have an event I'm attending. Every quarter, I must sit with my senior, etc., etc. I'm just trying to say, for personal development, you're gonna don't leverage, or rather, don't relegate it to your daily decisions. Decide upfront, anchor those decisions, and all you are doing is to reinforce it and keep it going. So I think third key part, and this is to protect that space, because now the decision has already been made that once a week you must attend, or rather once a month you must attend a certain event, as opposed to deciding when it comes. I'm not sure if you're with me. Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
okay, ma'am.
Amazing. So number one, identify your prime time and guard it. And when you are at that prime time, use it right. Don't use it for non-value creating events. Use it for yourself. You deserve your best time. You deserve your best time. So you have to feature in your prime time. Number two, automate the trivial tasks so that you don't exhaust yourself doing things that can be relegated or automated. Number three, build habits. Don't trust your daily decision making, because your daily decision making can be affected by your moods, can be affected by how life has a way of twisting things around. And if you don't have standing decisions, you will be moving around. But if you've got standing decision and standing routines and standing habits specifically for personal development, then you are standing in a better place. Let's move on to the second one. So one, my first part is protect. Protect your time, protect your energy, protect your and build habits. Number two, sharpen. Sharpen your thinking. Now, a man is as he thinks. A man is as he thinks. And that's why even when it comes to personal development, you set the height by what you think about yourself, or rather how far you can see. You know the scripture that says, what's the scripture? I've got pastors on the line. They can help me. As far as your eyes can see. So when you sharpen your thinking, you are enabling yourself to see further, and that's how far you can go. Do you know that there's people who, when they think about personal development, they are thinking about finishing a course? There's nothing wrong with that. Truly, it is finishing a course. But what I'm saying is that as far as you can see, so sharpening your mind, it almost elevates what you can see. You guys are not hearing me. I'm joking. I'm joking. So you have to, so number one, you have to protect your time. Number two, find ways to elevate what you feel is best. Elevate what you think is good. Sharpen how far you can see. Because as far as you can see, that's how far you can go. Let me give, I'll give detail as well on this one. Number one, let learning not happen by chance, design it. Don't let learning happen by chance, design it. This is you sharpening your extent. You have to design your learning. Give me a second. You have to design your learning. You know, some people depend on life teaching them lessons. You know, life has taught me this lesson. You are relegating such an important thing to life teaching you. In fact, some people even relegate it to people who are organizing events. You are relegating such an important thing to amazement, to design your curriculum, and yet he does not have the full rubric of your purpose. You and God are the two people that must design your learning path. And then when you have designed it, then you can reach up to amazement because he's talking to a subject that is in your curriculum in any case. I'm just trying to say, you have to have an end-to-end view. Cook your pot. I don't know if you're hearing me. Cook your pot. Don't just eat whatever people are giving you at that time because it's amazing. Because at the end of the day, when we get to heaven, we are going to account for what we have leveled ourselves to in order to receive, to deliver our purpose. So you have to design your learning. Don't default it. Don't relegate it. Now, what does this mean? Or rather, how do you do it? Number one, you're gonna, of course, you know extent of your purpose, ne? You might not know all of it, but you know how far you need to go in terms of your purpose. Number two, you know where you are, or rather, unfortunately, some people don't, but can I ask you to just pause and see where you are? The gap between those two is what is going to become your curriculum. Your curriculum is not based on who's inviting you where. Yes, we will go when they invite us, but please be more faithful and more committed to designing your learning because you understand your purpose and you understand best where you are as a person. Don't relegate it to other people. So maybe my task for this one is to say, what is a full stature? Let me call it full stature. What is the full stature of faith looks like in the fulfillment of purpose? What is the faith currently today? What is the gap between those two? All right, she's got this gap, she's got that gap, she's got that, and this is you designing your learning. Obviously, you're doing this prayerfully, so that you also have understanding of this is what purpose is, this is where I am, and this is how I get there. So don't let the externals determine your curriculum. You are responsible for it. I'm glad that there's different people organizing different things, but you're responsible for your own curriculum. Let me go to number two. Think time is not optional, it's strategic. Now we are talking about thinking. You know how busy we are? We are so busy we can't even pay attention to ourselves. And that's how time moves past and you are not becoming any better. Think time is your hub to recognize yourself and become deliberate about your next steps. Now, remember, I'm not talking about thinking about the admin stuff and thinking about what conversations we had. Now we're talking about that prime time, remember. That prime time is a necessity. Every single person needs to give honor where honor is due. You are giving yourself honor if you become the agenda in your prime time. You are giving honor where honor is due. Unfortunately, we have removed ourselves from a seat of priority and we have placed the urgencies of life in that place of priority. Then we are surprised why people are progressing and things are developing, and yet we aren't moving at a pace that we feel we are when it comes to our purposes. We have removed ourselves from our seat of priority during our prime time. So please, your prime time is, we'll balance it another day. We'll talk about those people on the call. They know that me and God save WhatsApp group. So I do know that he has his time. Now I'm saying after that, please make sure that you prioritize yourself in your prime time, and think time has to be at a strategic level, not at a linear task level. So please remove the thinking about the arguments that you had or thinking about the emails you need to respond. Those are low leverage tasks. Those are low value things. They are not worth being thought about during your prime time. What must be thought about during your prime time is the gap between you and purpose and how you sharpen yourself towards that. Let me go to the third part. You're gonna have to sharpen how you think. Now we are talking about the architecture of personal development. We said number one, you must protect. Number two, we are sharpening how we think. Can I suggest to you that it's not about thinking long and thinking hard? There's engineering around thinking as well. Do you know that? There's engineering around thinking as well. And leaders who fast track their personal development are leaders who will re-engineer their thinking methodology. Leaders who will fast track their value creation. They will fast track their growth and their ability to take up shape is leaders who have recognized that there's an engineering around thinking that I need to master. Thinking is not a schedule of thoughts flow following one another. Are we there? Thinking is not a clumsy thing that happens based on whatever thought happens. I promise you, if you can recognize that thinking is a certain engine that I can optimize, that immediately fast tracks the things you do. It fast tracks your personal growth. It fast tracks your impact. If you're able to, and even this is I'm encouraging you, go and study what mental models exist to help me improve the quality of my thoughts. The quality of thought is not something that just happens to you. Quality of thought is something that is built and engineered. And when you can build and engineer the quality of your thought, I promise you can fast track everything that you touch with your hands. Are we there?
Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So there are mental models.
Yes,
There are mental
we are here.
models. And the reason I need to mention this is so that we don't go the long route trying to do our personal development. There's a shorter route by optimizing how you think that can fast track your output. and that can fast track your process of becoming. Let me give you examples. There's the Pareto principle. There's the first principle thinking model. There's the first order consequences. There's an Eastern Harbor matrix. There's different mental models, and I encourage you to go and study that, né? Because personal development is also going to need us to find. I mean, some of us are behind curriculum. Behind curriculum. Some of us are on curriculum and some of us are ahead of curriculum. I want to encourage us that fix your thinking model so that it fast tracks your personal development. Go and study that. Go and figure out what are the mental models that I can use to think and conceptualize things. And how does this impact my personal development? So number one, we are saying protect your prime time. Give honor where honor is due. You deserve your best time. We are saying automate the trivial tasks or delegate them so that you can free your cognitive space for value and for personal development. Build habits. Oh, build habits. Don't relegate personal development to daily decision making because days are different, but habits and routines that are anchored can be sustained. We're saying sharpen your thinking. So design your learning. You know where you need to go to. You know where you are. Don't just attend whatever. You are gambling because now you are assuming that they know where you need to be. And that's why they're asking you to come attend this event. We will attend, but please make sure that the curriculum is something that you're fully aware of. For example, in my case, I know exactly the distance between me and my purpose. And I've even trimmed it down to say, what courses must I do? You even approach it in seasons. Are you with me? You even approach it in seasons to say, in this season, maybe let's start with this part. And then we go to that part. And I guess even as you go along and as your mind opens up, you start adjusting that curriculum as well. But I'm just trying to say, don't learn by chance. Only you and God know your purpose. That's why only you and God must be accountable for your curriculum. Think time, very important. Please give honor where honor is due. You deserve your best time. Remove all the other many things we think about in our optimal time and think about value creation, personal development. And I promise you, when you can secure yourself in that prime time, everything else finds the best of you because you have given value, or rather you have sharpened your edges, and you go and hit the tree once or twice and it falls because when you do personal development, you're sharpening your edge. I want to rush to the last one before my time runs out. And then last one, obviously, please elevate your level of thinking because that fast tracks your personal development. Go and figure out, there's a lot of mindset models. We don't think by chance. We don't figure it out based on whatever thought came. There's methodologies. Thinking is an engineering. There's methodologies that govern thinking. Let me go to my last part. My last part is find environments that stretch you. Find environments that stretch you. Number one, there's something called growth tension. Growth tension. Growth tension. You know, sometimes when you're among certain people and you feel like, I know nothing. Can I tell you those are good environments for you? Many people feel affirmed and honored by the fact that in all their spaces they know. In all your spaces, when you are the one that people look up to. Can I hint that sooner or later, your value, or rather your ability to bring value, is going to expire because you are now not growing anymore, because now you have reached a place where you know everything, or rather you are within, in all your spaces, you are the superior one. And if you find that in all spaces that you are in, you are superior. If you're at work, you are superior amongst your friends. At church, you are the superior one amongst everyone. Feels like, oh, powerful. In social, if everywhere you are the superior one, please change your space. Please find new friends. You can't always be best. it's not good for you to always be best. You have to put yourself in spaces that give you tension to grow. That's the first part. So change your spaces. You've overstayed your welcome if you are the best in that area. Find another one where you are, the thing is, there's always someone higher than you. If that person is just not in your space, find that person so that they can give you that growth tension. Number 2, reevaluate your spaces of stagnation. I know this is a lot I'm saying, that there's many points here. I'm very happy to share this presentation. I know there's many points. But number 2, re-elevate your spaces of stagnation. Now, I always say, in fact, there's a quote that talks about how comfort is a silent killer. The minute you feel like you're not growing anymore, that's why I'm saying, if you're the best where you are doing, where you are, can I ask you to leave and find another place where you are not the best? Can I ask you to find other friends that don't feel like you are amazing? Well, not amazing, they say you must always be amazing, but you get my point. But it can't be that wherever you are, you've got people who are below you. There has to be spaces where you are the little one. There has to be, and you have to be deliberate about putting yourself in those spaces. That's the part. That's the part. You have to, you can't be comfortable with being great. That comfort of being great is what short circuits the lifeline of your greatness. So if there's any spaces of stagnation, in fact, I wrote something here, and when I wrote it, I was like, sure. I said, if you're finding that there are spaces where you are stagnant, then you must move on. You must move on. You've overstayed your welcome. Teach others, impart onto others, and move on to other spaces where you've got an opportunity to learn. If there are spaces where you feel you are stagnant, teach, delegate, sharpen, and leave to other spaces where you've got an opportunity to learn. Otherwise, you are short-circuiting don't overstay your places where you are excellent. Don't be excellent for too long. Be excellent and celebrate that, and then leave. Go find another one where you are just good, and strive to be excellent. When you reach excellent, you get my point. Let me go to my last point for tonight. Feedback. I'm actually realizing there's a lot on here. I'm glad it's being recorded. Feedback. Now, maybe the one point I've mentioned on this is that many people are comfortable to have people that are either their peers or below them. Ne? But can I tell you that feedback becomes holistic when it comes. Now, I'm talking about your inner circle. I'm not talking about people who know nothing about you. I'm talking about your inner circle. In your inner circle, you must have people who are below you, or rather subordinate to you. You must have people that are your peers, and you must have people that are ahead of you in your inner circle. And the reason for that is so that you can get those different perspectives in terms of feedback. Many times we leave only our peers in our inner circle. And that weakens the feedback that people above us and below us can give us. Can I ask you to pull someone above you and bring them in your closer space so that they've got leeway and insight to give you accurate, updated feedback? I'm not going to talk about your pastor, because your pastor sees you there at church. They don't know about nothing. They don't know much about much. I'm just trying to say, please be deliberate in your inner circle, in your close range. Have a subordinate, have a peer, have a superior, because then it gives you three views or three perspectives, and you must be deliberate, and those people can give you a holistic feedback. I've said a lot. Let me pause here. Maybe I'll close it by saying that there are systems and patterns that are silently shaping who you're becoming. And if you're not intentional, and if you're not paying attention, and if you're not deliberate, you will wake up at the end of life and you will look something very different to what you are hoping for. You will rise not to the height of your dreams, but you will rise to the height of your systems. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Wow. Faith.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, no, you're stopping when I'm wanting more, and it's a problem because now just like, you know, the whole time I'm just taking notes and putting down everything, and I'm just thinking to myself, I don't know how many quotes I'm gonna put out on everything that Faith has shared. I mean, wow. Something. Intentionally sharpen your thinking, design your learning. Don't let the external determine your curriculum. Think time is not optional, it should be strategic. Give yourself honor by becoming the agenda in your prime time. I think that it went deep. That hit deep. Becoming the agenda in your prime time. Use frameworks to think better, not just longer or harder. Re-engineer your thinking methodology. I mean, that in its own self is a seminar by its on itself. Fix your thinking model to fast track your mental development. Don't learn by chance. That hit home. That hit home. Don't learn by chance. Yeah, I think find environments that give you that growth tension. Reevaluate your spaces of stagnation. Comfort is a silent killer. A silent killer. Wow. And the comfort of being great, short-circuiting the lifespan of your greatness. I think that right there, that's an underliner right there. That's an underliner. What systems are silently shaping who you are becoming? And that's how you ended it. Faith, wow, what a wow. Yeah, no. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna open up right now to say for anyone who has a comment or a question, please, this is your opportunity. Just show by lifting up of a hand. And yeah, just shoot. The lifting up of a hand is just so that at least I can be able to coordinate so that we don't all speak at once. But otherwise, for everyone that joined in later, I hope you got as much as you could. But yeah, make sure that you do get a recording of this session. If you have a question or a comment, please feel free to lift up your hand. I see user have raised their hand. While I'm waiting for another hand, can I have user go ahead? Unmute yourself and go ahead.
It's a wow. It's a wow talk, and thanks for the wonderful presentation. It hits home. It's Dr. Rabapani, I
Oh,
think,
yes.
from the interactions from when we met at Tibumbeni, the last session we had, and this one. It's amazing. Thanks very much to Faith and to you, Doc. Thanks very much.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Doc. Wow. That is a powerful one. Doc, I'm sure you were answered on that question of that you asked me when we met on the issue of finding when are we most effective. I think Faith started by speaking on that part that let us find that prime time. So yeah, and make sure that we are the agenda during that prime time. So yeah, I hope then that helps you a lot as well. Thank you so much. There's a question on how do you get the whole of the presentation? I'm gonna put in my numbers there, so that you just hit me a text on WhatsApp and say hi, Amusement, and I'm gonna make sure that I share with you the copy of the presentation as soon as Faith sends it through. But yeah, any other question or
I
comment?
think if you,
Yes, Faith.
no, I would say, I think if you don't mind, I can just put it on the chat, then everybody can have it.
Yeah, you can do that as well to make it easy. Any other question or comment? Yonela, yes. Go ahead, Madam Mneno. And then Bongani will follow.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. As for me, it's not a question, but a comment to say, wow. I'm sitting here speechless, and I'm thinking about it's like a confirmational affirmation of what Faith has just shared now. I recently started um, being disciplined on my prime time as well, trying to wake up early in the morning around 4, and it has been working very well and being productive. And I all this time, I would say all these years, I've been wasting my time. And I can see now the difference on my personal growth and my purpose as well. So today it felt like, yo, this one is hitting home. So hard. But thank you so much for the platform, and thank you, Faith, for your time. I know the time on your side, you're supposed to be sleeping by now, but you gave us this platform and opportunity. But thank you so much, sir, also for putting up this session. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Yanela. It's encouraging. Yeah, it works. It works. It works. Thank you. I see you have already shared it. Faith, thank you for sharing it. For everyone else who can access it, the presentation is already loaded onto our chat room. So yeah, make sure you get one. Bongani Ndlovu, please go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Faith, for the presentation. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a question. As the personal development is a never-ending journey. Faith, in your perspective, what is the importance of rest as you're pursuing personal growth, and how do you apply it in your life? That's my question. Thanks.
I love the question. It's a never-ending journey. And how does that truth coexist with the necessity of rest? I always talk about how rest must not be something that we do when we are tired. Rest must be part of the scheduled habits. The same way you decide, I'm going to read in the morning, I'm going to rest must be part of the routine. It must not be something that we do when we are tired. Because when you rest, when you are tired, or rather, there's people who work until you're exhausted and then you burn out. The time it takes for you to bounce back from a burnout is much longer than the cumulative time it would have taken for you to rest periodically as a scheduled habit. And I think this is what I've learned the hard way. And I think those who are close to me know that I've been to spaces where I would run, I'd move so fast and I'd work so much and I'd pour myself out and I'd burn out. And after burnout, it takes very long for you to recover. So I think, yes, personal development is a never-ending journey. Rest is also not something that we reach to when we're exhausted. Rest is something that we schedule. You must rest because you've decided to rest, not because now you're exhausted. Then you'll never get exhausted. And that's no one day. But for me, my lesson has been just appreciate your rest. Don't do it when it's necessary. Do it because you've decided that now is rest time. Because rest actually also sharpens your ability to be optimal. It's not only to heal, it's also to optimize. So rest has a positive benefit as opposed to rest being a healing thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you on that. I remember one gentleman once said that if you don't rest, God has designed in our bodies that we must get a Sabbath. So if you don't rest, your body itself will force you to take that Sabbath. So it's best that you schedule it.
Once you get forced, and once you get forced, it takes a long time to come back. So just
yes,
before
yes.
you just rest.
It does. Madam Piti Maribana, you're highly esteemed, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
No, I don't regret that I've joined the session, even though I've joined a little bit later, because I was still driving from work when you guys started. But I must say, the way I've picked up, I've really gained a lot. I must say, it's so thought-provoking to say, out of all what has been said here, what is it that I'm doing right or what is it that I'm not doing? But I'm just glad that one got to be part of the session, and really it's something that one would say, if you take it and live by it, surely you'll go somewhere. So this is just a word of appreciation to you, amazement, to say, really, I appreciate your invitation, and I thank God that I didn't look down at it. I've decided to honor it. I don't regret. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Odirileng Muhajane. I hope I pronounce it well. Please go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, my name is Udi Releng Mohajani. Pastor Faith, thank you so much for the wonderful presentation that you've just given us. But just a quick one here. You mentioned something based on purpose at the beginning of the presentation. So I would like to know that for someone who feels disconnected from themselves, how does that person begins the process of rediscovering the core identity, rather aligning it with the deeper sense of purpose? Because some of us, to be honest, let me say me, I don't really know my purpose. Yes, I'm in my early 20s. I've just started my 20s. Yes, I like reading books. I like attending events. I like putting myself into those spaces. But I wouldn't say I really know what my purpose is into this earth. And I often hear people saying that, no, you'll discover your purpose. My purpose into this earth is to do what to do. But I don't know, is purpose aligned with the things that you like, that you see yourself becoming in the future? Or is it attached to your goals? Or just because I'm into this presentation now, and one day I see myself, attending a TEDx event, and yes, can you please clarify that for me? Thank you.
Loaded question, my dear. I love your question. In fact, I'm actually even happy for us to take it offline if you want to, but I will definitely answer it now, or rather I'll try and cover some of the things I heard you were asking. But if you need any further discussion, happy to talk about that. You're talking about discovering of purpose. And if there's an alignment between the things that you like and the things that you're skilled on and your purpose, like what's the interconnection between those and finding those? And I think it's a broad question. Maybe let me mention two things. Your skills are given as an enabler for purpose. Even your passion points are given as an enabler for purpose. So purpose is the fundamental. Skill and passion point is an enabler for it. So sometimes, yes, you must pay attention to your skills and your passion point because they may give you an indication or a directive to the direction of your purpose. I'm not sure if you're hearing me, but sometimes many times there's a link between your passion point, your skill point, and your purpose, because the two are given to enable purpose. So I think the one part is to pay attention to your skills, pay attention to your passion points, pay attention to what happens when you respond to this passion point. Generally, as you grow, you navigate to a place of clarity. And I'm using the word navigate intentionally. Purpose is something that you discover as you are paying attention to yourself, paying attention to your responses to things, your responses to what you're doing. So I think the connection between the three is that skill and passion enable purpose. Skill and passion can point you towards purpose and suggest that your purpose could be something, but I mean, it's a suggestion that it could be something because they are enablers for purpose. God is the person who designed you. So we can never even figure out purpose. I mean, I'm a Christian, to those of you on the line, so this is my strong perception. that God is the center of, is my creator. So when I'm talking about purpose, I'm talking about my creator's reason for making me. So if there's any way I can go and ask concerning purpose, is the person who made me, because he's the one who would know. Maybe the last part I wanted to talk about is paying attention. Pay attention to your reactions. Pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to things you like and you don't like, the skills that you're discovering. I think we are too scattered across many things for us to quickly realize our anchor points and our strong points. I'm very happy to engage in this discussion as well offline.
Wow.
Thank you so much. I'm answered.
Mm,
Thank you so much.
yeah. I'm glad you asked that question. Maybe when we close it, Faith, I'm just going to ask you. You spoke of systems, you spoke of routines often, and you spoke of habits, and just being intentional about all of this. Is there a book that maybe you could recommend for people who want to get deeper into themselves? How do I create these systems for myself? Is there a book or number of books or articles that you could recommend that, look, if maybe you can try this in this book, it could help you go deep in understanding the issue of creating a systems for yourself?
Oh, that's an interesting one. So I can't get one on my head, but I'll mention 2 points. Point number one is that the books that we read are based on the seasons that you are in at that time, right? So, for example, when I was moving to Dubai and Singapore, what was important is sharpening my ability to get to know people. So that's why the book I read would be How to Make Friends and Influence People, or even the one that says How to Speak to Strangers. So based on the season you are in and what's happening in your life at that time, that's what, remember I was saying you must design your own curriculum, right? So a question that I can take is one that says, Faith, I'm at this stage. What book speaks to this stage? Because now we are customizing recommendations to your curriculum. So I think that's identity. Yes, for me at this point, the previous stage, now I'm in a different one. I'm going to show you. I've got a book here. I'm going to show you just now. The previous stage was just about how do you make, because I was moving into a different season altogether, different people, different nation. So I had to sharpen my ability to connect with people quickly. So that's why I read How to Make Friends and Influence People, and then I read How to Speak to Strangers. Now I'm at a stage of elevating the quality of my life beyond the material things that we chase. Now I've chased the material things, ne? And I've realized that I don't know if that's what life is supposed to be. So there's a book I'm reading that says How to Be Unsuccessful. How to be unsuccessful. And it talks about how sometimes the true value of life is stolen away by what we are defining as success. So that's why it's suggesting that, can we just be unsuccessful so that we can have a good quality life? I'm answering a long question. I'm just saying books depend on your curriculum. If you're in a certain curriculum and you'd like me to recommend a specific book, I will go and check which one was relevant for that phase in my life. Happy to do so.
Wow. Thank you, Faith. Thank you so much. How to Be Unsuccessful. I'm going to check that out. I like reading. So every book recommendation that I get, I add it into my library and be like, yeah, when I get to that season. And I'm glad you mentioned the issue of seasons. I think I've learned, I think over the past couple of years, that some books become relevant when I enter a certain season, even though I read them before. But now when I read them again, they speak differently because I'm in a season where what they're saying matters a lot at that particular time. So some good books are, as you said, great, but it matters when you do read them. So yeah, I like that. I think maybe I'm just going to ask you to give your last words as we close it off. What would be your departing word to everyone that's here tonight?
I think my departing word would be, of the many things that we can do, you are your best project. Of the time that you are spending on work, and I'm not saying don't spend time on work. After all is said and done, you are left with yourself. And this is why I'm really encouraging us to not relegate personal development to external things. Please give honor where honor is due, and honor when it comes to personal development is due to you. You have to bet on yourself. You have to give honor where it's due. And I think personal development is in fact, many times we spend time doing the many things, but if you would actually look in and develop yourself, it would be much easier to do the many things. I think we are too busy fixing the world, and yet the fixers are not fixed. Let me say that again. We are very busy fixing the world, and yet the fixers remain unfixed. You can just pause and fix the fixer, or rather have time in your schedule to fix the fixer. And I promise you, your efforts to fix the world will be more accurate and more effective. Thank you.
Wow, that is a powerful one. Fixing the world, but neglecting the fixer. Fixing the world, but neglecting the fixer. Reminds me of a book I read by Dr. Miles Monroe on the power of character and leadership. And he was speaking a lot about that we get so consumed with what leaders achieve, but we neglect the person behind this chair. So you've really touched home there. But otherwise, thank you so much for sacrificing your time and your sleep. I know it's I can tell now it's your
It's 2
time.
a.m. now.
Like you're on fire. So I really like that. And for everyone who came in and put in their comments, thank you as well. And yeah, next week around this time as well, 7 p.m. South African time, we're gonna have another guest as well. But thank you so much, Faith. For everyone else, watch out for the link. But thank you. And have a I'll say beautiful morning to you and a perfect evening for all of us. And yeah, they can go back now to watching Trump and the president. But good night and keep unfolding your leadership capacity.